Welcome, everybody. Tommy Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. Breaking news! We'll get into it. My co-host, Tina Bird, I'll let her say hello. Greetings, Tina.
Greetings, Tommy. Hello, everybody. I'm Tina Bird from the UK in Southampton. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and now YouTube. You find me, there's my little thing next to you there, Tina Bird and Encounters. Click on it, watch my video. Tonight I'm here with Tommy Hawksblood, and we have some news from Vegas, but I'll let Tommy explain it all. Tommy.
All right, we'll get into that. We got a serious problem in the United States right now. Mr. Trump is going into court, and there's giant mobs of people forming around it already. His people will start a riot if they have to. It's sad because it's a real thing, and they're making it on TV. They're making the United States sound like an evil country. Our government's corrupt, and they're allowing these people to speak. So we're in trouble. And if these people go into a riot mode, it's not going to be like when Trump was president, because these people, they already got armies and everybody coming in. People will get shot if this goes crazy like the last time. But they said no violence. They already got a guy running with a camera inside a suitcase. They brought him out. I mean, nothing's bad happened yet, except they're still coming in by the busloads. This could be a serious thing going down in the next couple of days, but we shall see. But the most important thing, we'll get this out right away, that the most important thing that just happened in Vegas, all right? A whole family, saw a ship come down, and an alien walk in their yard. The thing is, it's not the common gray or whatever. It was a 10-foot being, all right? Now, the cops recorded it on a camcorder, all right? There's other witnesses coming out now.
So that's government evidence, and yeah, carry on. Sorry, Tommy.
So the evidence will be squashed probably. The witnesses aren't being shown on TV. All the people coming out and stuff. They probably will try to cover this up. We don't know. I don't know what race it is. I don't think anybody really does. Sure, there'll be people, UFO people. Oh, that was a Nordic, or that was this, or whatever they're going to say. But the child says it was fuzzy, and then it like came into dimension. And it's interesting to listen to what the family said. This is a nice, normal family. And for them, that they actually said, well, there's drugs out there, and and they already made it sound like the family was corrupt.
No, but they had it from the clip I saw. It didn't play it all. It just played ads. I saw a couple of seconds. Was the man, I think himself, stood next to a sheriff's department car with all these lights going. They were there investigating it. They were there. There's no two ways about that.
Well, they actually censored part of the video they put up. They blacked out sections and everything else. What are they going to try to hide the family so people can't talk to them and see if they're real or not? Because they could come out, try to bribe the family, or who knows what they can do and say. But keep your eye on it, people. Go online and type Vegas UFO, because it just happened about 5 days ago, and it should have been on the news for a while, which it was only on for a short time. I mean, it was on news, but again, it was like just a couple segments of short things that happened. But that's just one problem. Here in Hawaii, we got lots of ships over us now. We have planes flying over us. Now, we never had planes fly over where I live. And every day now, there's two planes that fly over us twice a day. We always had a prop plane, a little teeny guy flying this little prop plane around Hawaii, this part of Hawaii. All right, that happened twice a week. But these are two real planes, jets, small jets coming over us every day now. And they go kind of around in a circle. They're not like going straight across the sky. So whatever's going down, we also got drones testing bombs here in Hawaii. There's so much going on here in Hawaii. They don't want to admit anything. They're not going to say a thing about the UFOs that are happening. Now, I just watched a video of Steven Greer. It's online right now. But he's talking about how all these planes are government, or ships, whatever you want to call them, are government black projects. But they're not, people. If you see a plane just going around circles over your house for 3 hours, it's not a government plane. They're not going to film you for 3 hours. Why? And I could go on about that, which we'll get into later. But I
Isn't
want
your
Tina to say
volcano erupting as well at the moment?
Go ahead, Tina.
Isn't your volcano erupting as well at the moment?
Of course it is. There's so many things happening. I didn't want to get into that, but they're saying it's safe for people. It's not going to affect people or anything yet. All right. Now, I just pulled up the earthquake chart because there's a lot of people talking about that. In the four corners of the Ring of Fire, there was a 5 point something earthquake today. It's like if you draw an X across, there was a point on each corner of the Ring of Fire that was over a 5.2, which is not common. I mean, there's many, many fives over now, and it's never been like that in history. But something's happening worldwide with the weather, with animals, with everything. If people were aware, I mean, we got global peace and green peace and all those groups.
Hapgood's theory. Dr. Hapgood, I think, produced a book, and it was available on Amazon. The government withdrew it. This was years ago, before Amazon. The government withdrew it and edited it, deleted pages, and it's just been re-released with hardly any pages in. But Hapgood's theory of Earth crust displacers, I think, is very true. It's a very good theory, and it looks like it's enacting as we speak.
Well, I say, people, look at what's happening. Look at the people. Everything on TV is really pathetic right now. My partner watches a lot of things, but I watch clips of pieces of this, that, and the other thing, like 90 Day Romance and things like that. It's pathetic where people are. Now, there's a show called Ridiculousness. Everything they show, some person's doing something incredibly ridiculous. The whole planet seems to be like sliding down into who knows where. No awareness, no cares about the truth or what's good. Talking about different kind of sexual relationships is okay, and every moral that we ever had is gone. And now that there's a big chance aliens are going to make themselves known this year, which I think is going to happen.
Well,
in a big way.
Just crash landed on the strip, haven't they, in Vegas? Hello.
So, I warned everybody last year. I said, the next coming year or two, we will see and know aliens are real. And most people still don't believe it. And Steven Greer is going on about this, that, and the other thing. He has no clue what's going on. I wrote a nasty letter to him. Sorry. Because he's claiming all these things and saying all these things. I said, and he wants to talk to aliens. And he wants to teach us to talk to aliens. While all our fake ships that are flying over us are government ships. What? And he goes, well, you got to go into this meditation to talk to him and all this stuff. But so what? Not one positive thing came out of anything from working with aliens. People, whether you want to know that or not. And what Tesla brought out is one of the few people that actually brought their stuff out is not beneficial to the world. Now, Fred Bell worked with Billy Meyer's alien people, friends, whatever you want to call them. He invented things, and he brought medicines out. He did a lot of things before he was killed 2 days after he did the Jesse Ventura show. People, this is a world where it's controlled, whether you believe it or not. You have very little freedom and very little self-protection, no matter what. I had all these virus programs on my computer. I have 6 of them, and I still got hacked last week. And it was a really bad one because they put me right on the black web and all that kind of stuff. Everything, if you get letters asking for your phone number, name, and things like that, it's not me, people. I changed my phone number. I lost 3 of my Facebook accounts. I lost my linked account. So I'm in a place where I'm almost ready to kind of like hide from this whole world because it's going in a wrong direction. People should be caring more about women's protection, children's protection, and what's really going down with aliens. Because the government can't protect us. All right, people, that's the first thing you need to know. Why would they talk about something they can't protect you from? And all these people, big name people, well, they're talking about Area 51, Roswell. Roswell's old. It wasn't important. Why don't you talk about the fleet of ships that went over the White House? And they couldn't do a thing about it. And that's when I was born, 1952. I hope you're still there, Tina. I don't know what I see if you put it on pause. But people, it's time to wake up. Time to face what's really going on and learn to deal with it. Don't live in dream world. It's not going to help. prayers are good if you want to do them in the back of your mind and in bed at night, whenever. But it's not going to save the world, people. If God wanted to save the world, He would. It would. All right? And it's not happening because this is hell. Mankind is creating bad things. All right? We haven't created anything good. And our technology, we are releasing a spaceship by the end of the year. The United States is. It's going to be the most deadliest weapon on the planet. It already cost $40 billion. All right? And they plead we have no money. The space program, all right, spends anywhere up to $720 billion a year. And they say we have no money. People in Congress get nice paychecks for the rest of their lives, nice medical for the rest of their lives. And the poor people get zero. And they want to take away our welfare, Social Security, everything else. They want to cut it. And people, remember, here's something people, I hate to go this way, but remember, the Constitution of the United States was not created for poor or middle class people. It was created by rich people, for rich people. All right, the idea of guns. We do not have the right to carry guns and shoot people. We don't. Nobody should. But aliens have technology. I don't know if you know what happens when people meet. Pull up Phil Snyder's story. They have weapons and they use them. People, they're not like loving beings. Oh, we're going to help you become spiritual. We're going to help you do what? Come to our planet? What do you think they would need you on planet Venus, Mars, Jupiter, or whatever in the Pleiades? Or what do you think they would need you for? What would you do or benefit them? A girl, maybe. They can inseminate you and have children, but they can make you stay chained up and everything the whole time as well. They're not loving beings. They don't have compassion. And they sure are not helping us in any good way. We're going to get into that. We're going to dive as much as we can into it with the truth that we have. And realize we're not spreading lies. We're not telling stories. And we are not doing this to make money. All right? All these other people, I mean, these whistleblowers that come out and they go on TV and everything else. I just listened to one now claiming that we have a UFO that crashed. We know that. So when a whistleblower comes out, it's always useless information or 25, 30 years past. All right. How about you come out yesterday, a ship landed in Vegas. Why don't you talk about that? These people aren't talking about that.
Why is that not headline news around the world?
Yeah. Never happened, Tina. All right. But why not look for the truth in all this mess that's coming out? All right. This channel's like there's only one that I know, and they show native things. They show things. Check the sites out. See if they talk about things that nobody else is talking about. Because there's government channels, which are still pretty controlled, where there's certain sites that tell everything. They talk to drug dealers. They talk to people. They talk to native people. They show things happening. I'm sure they cover their faces sometimes and voice, whatever. But you need to go out there and start looking. And if you hear the truth, decide for yourself if it's real or not. Don't say, I believe it because Joe Schmo. If Steven Greer comes out and tells you anything, I guarantee it's not going to benefit you in any way in your life. It's not going to bring you money. It's not going to bring you protection. And why would they want to talk to you? What would they have to say to you? Oh, this alien came through the universe. Hey, Joe, what's going on in your world? What are you eating today? What do you think they're going to talk about? Go ahead, Tina.
And this is another thing. It's just like this thing. Supposedly it crash landed. It didn't land. Apparently, on the news it said it crash landed. These things aren't deliberately trying to make contact with us. If they crash landing, they're here by accident because they don't want to land and meet us. They choose the school like in Ariel in South Africa, and there was one in Australia they visited, and in other places as well. And abductees are also a point of contact. But while we're on the talking about contactees, and today's is Whitley Schreiber's birthday. So I had the pleasure of meeting Whitley this year, and he was famous for the film Communion, about his accounts. I'm not going to say experience, his accounts. which was made into the film The Communion. He recently got his book rights back, and he's been out and about. So I met him this year in February. But it's his birthday today. So happy birthday, Whitley. So a few other things as well going on. There are other abductees and people, like Tommy said, in the UFO world, experiencing things, seeing things that aren't headlines. We don't understand why. It's either been suppressed from the rest of the populace, or they're definitely trying to water it down so there's not so many reports coming up. But they are there. If you dig through the internet, people, that they are there. So this week as well, I've been on the Russ Kellett show here in the UK. I think he was part of the Universal Soldier program. There's his book there, E.T. Rider. Also, I'm on David Edmonds' show this week on the Spiritual Realm on Strange Reality. So I'm there 6 p.m. Thursday, which is midnight here in the UK. But apart from that, yeah. So we really, after today, so I'm going to go back. It's only just I didn't even know about the UFO crash in America until Tommy said, because it's not hitting the news here in the UK. Nothing is hitting the news here in the UK.
I want to bring this up, people.
The only thing that it has made news. Sorry, Tommy. The only thing that has made news is about China drilling a hole to the core of the Earth. Now, obviously, that's going to have a massive impact on the Earth's gravitational pull and the way we revolve around the sun, I should imagine. Tommy.
Tina, do you watch what is that called? Oh man, I can't think of the word. The property where they're man, my mind's drawing a blank to it. But they're drilling into the ground because they sense radiation and all kinds of stuff, right? And they can't drill through it. Whatever it is, they can't drill through it. All right.
Skinwalker Ranch.
So, what is the name of the place? The ranch that
Skinwalker Ranch.
Skinwalker Ranch. Sorry, my mind's going blank with that. But now they can't get through this object that's only less than a quarter of a mile down, and they're going to go into how many miles to get to the core of the Earth? Really? What super inventions are they going to use to do that? And if they do they imagine what they could cause if the core of the Earth has a separate entity within itself, meaning a vibration and energy and a source of power? It could come blasting out through that hole they create.
Well, right. If you drill a hole with a marble, it no longer rotates in a circle. So that's something to think about.
So, and plus we got so many things going on around us. CERN, CERN, they're putting a magnetic field on that's 4 times stronger than the Earth's planet's gravitational energy. All right, sure, it's in a controlled environment, but it's still stronger than our gravity. And it produces a radioactive field inside it. If that thing ever blew open when it was on, it would destroy a big piece of area. Considering it's basically on 4 countries, the tube that goes around with the pumping these atoms through this circle. People, and now we got cloning aliens and animals and humans together. We are headed in a really serious, pathetic direction. Never mind allowing AI to take control. And I'm going to tell you people right now, you heard it here first. You might have heard it, but you probably didn't. AI is created by an alien race. It was created a long time ago and given to the United States and the world now. It is a real entity. Well, we don't understand electricity as much as we think we do. All right. And vibration and computer energy. All right. How much did we come in 50 years with computer world? But the technology of AI is way beyond mankind's understanding. They're doing movies on it. They're doing everything about it, saying what could happen, what might happen. But it's real. And it is going to take over the United States and Russia and China and all the countries on this planet. And it will be dangerous. And it's going to happen within 7 years. All right, people.
Well, look what the damage is done from the World Wide Web. People no longer go out shopping or even leave their homes. People don't socialize more. People don't do clubs. Shops are being shut down.
In the United States, we're having shootings every week. You don't want to go to school. You don't want to go shopping. You don't want to go anywhere. I mean, if you're not getting hit directly, you're being hit by crossfire. When I worked in the projects many years ago, over 25 years ago, all right, the ghettos, the guns were going off all the time. The police didn't go there for a half hour. They always waited until the shooting stopped before they went there. You know, this is the real world, people. They're people, cops are people. They don't want to get killed. I mean, Putin has his thing up because he wants to protect his family. He wants them to live forever and have the best foods. So he wants global warming. But he also works with aliens as well as the United States does, people. He admitted it on public TV. But he did say alien races want to destroy the planet. Now, with those things being said, where do you stand in any of this? Do you believe aliens are here? Do you believe ships are over us? Do you believe any of that? Or do you believe what the government says? Oh, it's balloons, like a couple months ago. Really, 5 different balloons came over the United States, and we were afraid to shoot them down. A balloon came from China or Russia, flew all the way over us. Really? Balloons in space have no guidance. I mean, then it's not a balloon if it has all these other things on it. It's a ship. I mean, a helium ship and all these other, what we call balloons.
Well, when the Americans said that they'd shot down an unknown object, and then they said it was a balloon, what was the other 2 or 3 things they shot down as well? They never said.
They never continued with. There was only 2 supposedly real balloons and 3. One of them came over Hawaii. It was a ship, people. It was on our TV. They showed it on the news that night. It wasn't a balloon. Sorry. But again, Hawaii is the first center of defense for the United States. So they don't go public with anything. I've been dealing with the observatory. They say they never saw a UFO. Really? The most powerful telescope? They could look at what's going on the moon and Mars, and they can't tell
Hello,
us
Eugene.
anything.
It's good to have you back on here again. We have got a visitor in our chat room.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Greetings, Eugene. How are you? If you ever want to come on, just say the word. We're together. Yes, we'll stay together until the end. At least I will. I don't know if Tina wants to walk away from this one day. She might.
I think I'll be gone for Tommy at this rate. I've been so ill lately.
But she'll be famous at least. Hopefully she'll get to the point where people will listen to her. All right. The UFO world has such horrible stories going on, fake stories. They're leading people up this path to China or whatever because it's not taking them to anywhere good. The food in the United States is becoming toxic at every level. Plus, it's disappearing and multiplying in price. Something is going on incredibly dangerous, people. And it all relates back to aliens, whether you want to believe that or not. Go ahead, Tina.
Prices in England are absolutely so. For one, I went into a shop. I'm not going to say the name shop, but it's a very famous shop in the UK. And just supposing like a fresh like microwave meal, like a posh one, it normally costs about £2 or £3. Okay, but for $4. I went in there about 3 or 4 days ago, and it was £9.50, so about $10-11 for a microwave meal.
Yeah, I agree. Hi, Richie.
Hi, Richie.
Please remember, anybody that has the ability to put this up on other sites, please do, because I want people to start looking at what's coming out. And Tina's in it, and she needs to be, because she needs to get her story out there mainstream. But I can't tell her not to agree with all these people because they have no truth and no real awareness. Whitney Schreiber started crying when they showed the alien interrogation on TV. All right. He's crying for an alien when he was actually abducted. See, people are so programmed, and we call them experiences, the ones that are programmed and believe it's a good thing. Nobody gets abducted and call it a good thing, people. We're going to go into that. Tina's story is the actual proof of that. Now, I want to say this. I worked with this in 1970s. I work with women that have been abducted, lost their children. I wasn't promoting it. I wasn't doing books on it. I was helping them get through what happened and things like that, because I was doing hypnosis, past life regression, and things like that. A lot of these people have no clue what happens to them on a ship. I mean, that's what missing time was.
Did I can't remember last week. Did I show you my new? Sorry, my dog's just having a funny 5 minutes. My new evidence to say that they took a medical what they believe to be a medical device out from inside me.
Well, you could tell everybody that again, because it's a lie. It's a complete lie. But let her tell her story to you.
So
wait, Tina, start at the beginning. All right.
So I was 6 years old when I was first taken. So I don't like the word experiencer. It takes something away from abductees. Sorry, I do apologise. My dog is just having a funny 5 minutes. So for me, it started when I was 6, and you're never prepared for anything like that. It's just something that happens to you. And now I'm older, looking back, it's changed me, and I do feel angry now about what's happened to me. But going back to what's happened to me over the years, I mean, I can't say it's been a positive experience at all. It's been horrific, horrifying, scary. At one point, I thought I was going to die. So you can look at it from the point. Depends which way people want to look about abduction. Is it real aliens and that? Let's put it into a perspective. When someone comes forward, they tell rape victims, bullies, or people of crime or war victims to come forward. So if I'm not a 6-year-old girl, just supposing I was a child in another country with a uniform on, I was a soldier, and I came forward and said, an invading species entered our planet unimpeded, entered our airspace unencumbered, without security checks, without quarantine. An invading force came into my home, took me against my will, sedated me, strapped me to a table, and experimented on me, took chunks out of me, tortured me, frightened me to death, and then put me back. You would have every force out in the world. You would have militias out, the police out, you would have Secret Service out, you would have the military out. You'd be held up on charges on The Hague. The UN would be out there. But this does not happen. In reality, there's no one looking out for human beings like me. I pay taxes. I'm an abductee. Nobody's helped me. There is no recourse and no justice for abductees. So I came forward for help a few years ago, but for people to say it's all brightness and light and all this and that, it is for me that is definitely not the case. I can't say it's all negative and things like that, but just imagine as a child waking up being strapped to a table and they're drilling holes in your leg, burning holes in your leg, and then when you're a bit older, they're grinding your teeth and crushing your teeth, and like they're gluing them back together with glue and metal ants, and it tastes like dry chalk. Or you wake up and they're operating on your chest and there's blood spurting out your chest on them, or there's a device inside on top of your tummy and you're strapped to, you're completely helpless, or this thing comes over the bed and you think it's going to kind of eat you. It is absolutely horrifying. You don't expect it. You can't do anything against it. There's no defense, there's no help, and there's no one coming. And most of all, there's no way of stopping it whatsoever. It is absolutely horrifying. So for people that say, it was really good. So I'm just reading comments in the room. So, and that's where I stand on abduction. People have been calling me an activist lately, but I have recently wrote to the UN wanting to know about abductees' rights, human rights. Everybody is a human right. You hear all these people that are come across the channel in boats, they have more rights than me, apparently, in my own country. People that are tortured or been tortured in the war, or people that are raped or bullied or race issues, they're protected. They're afforded justice. They're afforded to be believed. They're afforded treatment or rehousing. What do abductees get? Absolutely nothing. I've still got to continue with my life. I've got to pull myself together, take loads of painkillers where they've been drilling stuff in you. It hurts to get out of bed and you've been vomiting blood and you've still got to go to work. Nobody's paying my bills, paying my taxes, going to work for me. Nobody's giving me medicine, so we know what happened to you. I'm sorry. We have to live with this every single day. So where is the recourse? Where is the help? Where is my human rights? You lose your humanity. The human race, the human race is becoming sterile. Over the years, is this due to abductions? And another thing about abductions, people are so short-sighted and small-minded. Everybody knows the real. The government's come out and said the real. They've had tests and everything else. These things come into our airspace unimpeded. If they drive through space, they've got to go through the Van Allen radiation belt. They're bringing radiation into our Earth, into our ozone, into our atmosphere, into our planet, into our water, into your homes. They're then bringing, if they're traveling through time, or location to location, they're still punching holes in our world, in our reality, in our atmosphere. Is it sucking oxygen out? Is it pushing bacteria in? Is it pushing different type of energy in? Is it pushing radiation in? These things don't act well in our atmosphere. They crash. So they can't be that intelligent when they come to the Earth, knowing that our Earth affects their ships and lightning strikes affect their ships. But they come here, they crash. Are they polluting our oceans? Is the radiation killing our fish? Is it bleaching our oceans? Is it poisoning our water? Is the water safe to drink? Is it safe to swim in? Is it killing our wildlife? Is it melting the poles? It can't all be human beings. A lot of it is. We need to wise up, buckle down, and do something about that. But we have so many unknown factors still to explore. We don't understand enough about our own world, let alone encounters from another world. So there's a lot more just to think about than just saying, your account, you've been taken by aliens. It's all the other things that go. It's the radiation burns. It's the fear of going to sleep. It's the fear of talking to somebody. You live like that your whole life. It takes your humanity. It takes your life away from you. It takes your trust away from you, your friends and your family, and how you live like that, and living in silence because you don't want to say anything. So there is so many things and aspects to coming forward. And even to abduction itself that the government haven't even released. Another issue, which is seen as another negative, is, these things are like me. They are made from me. So when they do these clone babies and they're like, now sod this for Game of Thrones, I'm going home. They get on a ship or get on a way, and they travel all the way back to Earth or cause havoc in the universe. Who's responsible for that? Who is going to come looking for them? Who is going to stop them if they're causing a nuclear war somewhere in the universe? Are they going to come to Earth and blow us up and blame us for the actions of these hybrid children? Well, what happens if they decide to come to Earth and start a war? Well, they say, well, we're biologically related to you. Who has taken responsibility, overall responsibility and security for all this? None of that has ever been mentioned. So I think there's lots of waking up to reality, lots of filling in the blanks. Where's environmental Greenpeace on this? Where's all the environmental impact reports, weather report, atmospheric reports, radiation reports, crash site reports, water pollution reports from all these UFOs and crash sites? There's so many answers to be, questions to be answered. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I'm going to hand it back to Tommy because we're down to probably about 25 minutes left. But just looking at the comments in the room. Sorry, Tommy.
I just had to add a lot of stuff to it. All right, people.
Yes, over to you.
Tune is one story that's coming out. You know how many people that actually remember being abducted and never told their story? I have a couple next door to me. They're fighting with a couple people in the neighborhood. So I want to bring them on, but I don't want the whole neighborhood to know because there's a battle going on. But both of them were abducted. He's supposed to give me videos of what they saw and things like that. But I changed my number and my emails and everything, so they weren't able to send me anything yet. I'm still debating if I want to bring them on. I talked to him and they started going into what happened when they went on a ship and things like that. But it's only one case. If I talk to 20 people in Hawaii, I guarantee one of them were abducted. That's how bad it is here. Remember one thing, people, and I'm telling you this straight out. Every army base on the planet, there's an alien base near it. They're not stupid. They're not ignorant. They got control of the planet. They can do whatever they want, whenever they want. And people say, well, if they want to destroy us, they can. Of course they could. But would you destroy your food supply? That's the most ignorant statement because they don't know the truth. They want us for a lot of things. Our blood.
So
What happened
I'll
to
just,
Tina?
I'm sorry, Tom. I'm just picking up what Richie said in the chat room. It's terrible what they did to Tina. It is horrendous what they did to me, but there's millions of other people, Richie, that hasn't come forward. When I was up there, I saw hundreds of people. And one of the times that they took me on that travelator thing, but I saw hundreds of people up there. So I know I'm not the only one. And another woman has actually since come forward to say that she saw the black pods at my babies, or she saw the black pods on the ship she was in. Exactly the same thing. And she also has exactly the same markings at the same depth in her body on the same leg as I do. So there are hundreds of other people, and it's horrifying. And people want to wake up to that truth. It's not a Bambi story. It's not a Disney story. It's horrifying.
I got to close my windows. It's so noisy. Hold on.
That's okay. So, so for those people that do say they want to be abducted, it is not like that. It's horrifying. Why? And anybody says that really gets my goat. Anyone says, "Oh, I'd love to be abducted." So you would like someone to enter your home that could do anything to you or your family. You may not come back alive. People have died from being abducted. They're allergic to the light or the pheromone or the hormone they use or the frequency of light. People have died from radiation poisoning and burns. It depends if you're lucky enough to be put back. I mean, the tests they perform on Whitley, I think they Travis Walton by mistake, but nothing's ever really ended well. And my account is, it is a horrifying truth. But people are more bothered about seeing UFOs in the sky than what's actually going on. It's like war. It is war crimes against humanity. People need to wake up and smell the roses. Sorry, Tommy.
No problem. We have so many things going here in Hawaii. I'm trying to keep friends with the people that are doing what I ask them to do, watch the sky and things. But they're even afraid to release their videos. My friend next door, he showed me it. He wouldn't give it to me. He said, no, I can't put it out there. I said, well, what are you going to do with it then? If you're not going to use it, just delete it. Well, I'll show people. I said, yeah, but why not put it out? Everything's coming out now around the world. Pull up Instagram. You'll see videos of ships around the world, over government ships, and everyone's not fake, people. Things are real, and they're coming out, and the government can't hide everything, especially from other countries. Now, Putin talked about aliens right before Trump was elected. People, this is the real world, real things going on, and you can't live in a cloud. Prayer is not going to save the world, people. It never did. It didn't save any of Jesus's disciples. It didn't save any of Moses' people. It's not the safest thing, and it's not going to protect us from what's going on in Hell Land, which I call planet Earth. We are the most destructive creatures probably in the universe. Why do you think aliens aren't working with us already? They've been here for over 100,000 years, and you don't think they wouldn't want to party with us if we were intelligent enough, and they were intelligent enough to realize that? They don't care. They don't have feelings and emotions, so all they can see is what we do. That's why they watch us. We destroy things. We make things bigger. I mean, man's game plan here is whatever toy he has, make it better and bigger or faster or whatever they can do. It's not about making things better for us as people. Our food's contaminated, our air's contaminated, our water's contaminated, and you don't think if aliens were really helping us, they would help us with that problem first. Because right now, the chemicals in the water are killing people, and now they just admitted the chemicals that they put in water have been killing people for how many years was it created? I mean, fluoride and chlorine, they're both poisons. They knew that when they put it in water. I mean, people, who do you think people follow that do horrible things like that? People that want money. What aliens aren't here for money. That's the last thing they want from us. Go ahead, Tina. Sorry.
Sorry, no. Tell me something. I mean, so I get very about this. So it's not just about sightings and UFOs. It's about, now listen to what I'm saying. people being taken from their own environment. It is not safe. If you were in a war zone and someone took you from your environment, you would be treated as a victim. That is an act of crime. That is a war crime. This is happening to humanity, and if our governments are allowing it, where does that leave the human race? That is a very scary thought. If they can't do nothing about it, then they should come clean and come out and say it. But if they're not and they can do something, why are they allowing it? So what makes people like that qualified to allow them to use us as herd or bartering or exchange or as payment for IT or anything else? So there's a lot more questions that should be asked. There's no more question of, oh, it's abduction, is it real? Yes, it's going on. It's been going on for many years now, 20, 30, 50 years down the line. There are consequences. There always have been consequences of abductions and people dying through history, horrible deaths, different diseases, and it's been documented. So what is happening? Are they allowing the human race to just perish and die, become infertile and die like that? It's not just my safety, it's the safety now of your mother, your father, your daughter, you, anyone that lives in your house with you. Could be taken at any time, any night. Your pet could be dying poison and die of radiation because they've got too close to it. You could lose teeth, start vomiting blood. These are, people, there's years and years. So it's not just at the time that you're taking. You have to live with it. These effects never, ever go away. You live with these effects all of your life. They only get worse. They don't get better with age. So you're constantly living in pain because it's something somebody else has continued to do to you all your life, and the government does nothing about it. They don't want to pay for it, and they don't want to give you medical treatment for it. Tommy.
Somebody put in about Joe Rogan. Rogan is I don't want to say what he is and not isn't, but he never gets to the truth of anything good and important. He did a show, yes, about abduction. I watched it. All right. People take things and tear it apart and take away from what's really going on within it. The effects of a person abducted. How many people talk about that? Nobody. And like, Tina, I was going to ask you, you did a spiritual show. Were they asking you about spiritualism or were they asking you about aliens?
No, I'm doing that this Thursday. They haven't. I'm doing that Thursday. I'm with. Is it David Emerson on the Spirit Channel on Strange Reality? I think I am. This Thursday, the 22nd, live stream 2-hour show. That's being filmed in from the US, and I'm live streaming there at 12 o'clock at night to the show. So I shall watch the show, Tommy. I'll share it on my Facebook.
The link.
I will share it on my YouTube channel, guys. If you scroll to the top of the box at the guys, you see Tina Brown Encounters YouTube. Click on YouTube Encounters, guys, and you can watch my video of my new talk, The Human Side of Alien Abduction. That is actually on there, guys. But, I'm hoping. Sorry, go on.
Well, the show, like you're going to do, spiritual people have their viewpoint of aliens. So do most religions. And this other guy, I won't say his name. He's got a big site up, and he puts everything down, claiming to be the top UFO investigator, and he puts down, and then he brought up religion just yesterday. I wrote him a giant 2-page letter, calling him a fool and an asshole. But basically, you can't talk about God and religion and spiritualism and then say, well, he said Christians are bad because they think aliens aren't real. I said, 90% of the planet still don't believe in aliens. So how could you say just blame Christians? I said, all people think the same. If they don't see it and experience it, they really don't believe it. But, people are just out there saying blah, 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 blah. They don't want to help people understand what's really going on. And Tina doesn't like to talk about spiritual things. I'm just hoping they don't harass her about spiritual truth because she doesn't want to talk about that.
They're in for a shock if they do. I will be telling them. All right, we've got a couple of questions in the room from Eugene. What do you think about the Nevada kid who said he saw the huge alien? Children tend to tell the truth, as do lots of adults, and you can tell by the look on their face. It's either shock or looking up. But I haven't seen the video. Me and Tommy are trying to get it because they're trying to
Oh
delete
no, I
it.
saw it. I saw it. I saw a lot
Tommy,
of the
you say
video.
you already saw a couple of seconds. Tommy, regale us. Tell us.
Yeah, I saw a lot of it. Basically, it's a good-looking family. I mean, normal. Uh, kind of not the average white person because they look like they're together, a knit family, and they got their act together. People like that don't come out to say something that would be stupid to most people. Like why the UFO world never got publicized because 90%, I can go into that, 90% of doctors and lawyers aren't going to come out and say, well, they were on a ship yesterday. They don't want to lose credibility. People are afraid of that. Never mind being put in a nut house. And people are put in a nut house. Look at John Ford. Read his story. I went out to where the ship crashed. All right. For 3 weeks, the government was surrounding this place and they said it was burning. They were trying to burn the trees down and everything because when the ship came down, it went right through these trees. Go ahead.
Tommy, sorry, is that Nevada? Is that where the Phoenix Lights were? Or was that somewhere different? I'm used to American.
No, I'm talking about Long Island in New York City, next to New York City. Basically, a ship crashed there. John Ford filmed it. He was working for MUFON at the time. He had his little Geiger counter. They arrested him. And they said, and this is the story they put on public TV in New York and New Jersey, he had a barrel of uranium and he was going to put it in Congress and people's politicians' toothpaste. How do you take uranium and put it in somebody's toothpaste? I mean, you don't walk around the streets with uranium either. And if you have a barrel of it, where in the world did he get it? Aliens came down and gave him a barrel?
I can imagine you'd be dead.
Exactly. You know, but he's still in jail since 1996. I saw the video. All right. The ship was on the ground. There was 2 dead aliens there. And basically the government went in there, the army. They blocked off a square mile, 3/4 of a mile for 3 weeks. Black trailers were going in and out of there. Really? For a fire? Black trailers going in and out of a fire zone? What would they be doing? Taking burnt logs out of there? You know, they tried burning. I went in there not too far after, and they burned all the trees, but the trees were still standing. But you could see the space because when that ship came in, it knocked down it burned everything in the way of it, and all the trees had these notches across all of them. So there's no way somebody would have went in there and tried to do that for 3/4 of a mile.
Well, so that is all documented cases as well. Just looking back what Richie's just said and what Eugene said about and what you said tonight. So it wasn't shown in the UK at all. Tommy told me about this. Someone did mention it the other day, and I didn't have a clue. Tommy's highlighted this in the UK. So anyone in the UK is hearing this for the first time. We know nothing about the ship that supposedly crashed in Nevada. Yeah, pull trees. I'm all for trees. Yeah, wood is good. But people should be now looking at Nevada. If the Phoenix Lights was there, there's things appeared in Nevada. There's obviously something going on in that Pacific area. If any of you guys knows of bases there, something they're looking for, lights in the sky, then you should be looking for something underground. Because if they are living underground or visiting us, then it's obviously that they are coming together at that point. There's a specific point of interest for them there. So that's something to looking out, guys. Anyone that's in that area, please could they make us a report, send us a report or some pictures, or do a bit of historic reporting and go back through history and have a look. Yeah, poor trees. I'm always up for Mother Earth. Another gentleman I met, and he's been in medical records as well this week, is a gentleman called Gary Heseltine. He's an ex-police officer. He did for the UK. He's wrote this book called Non-Human. It's the Rendlesham Forest Incident by Gary Heseltine. And he is a police officer, a retired police officer that wrote this book about what's happened. And he's put it down in words.
Question.
To look at. So,
isn't that the story that the book that left at Eastgate?
Larry Warren, yeah. Larry Warren's in this one.
Because I was friends with him. I hung out with him for a few days.
Yeah.
Before he released his book.
I've met Larry.
Oh no, I was with him a whole seminar, and he explained how the government stripped his Social Security, his name. He couldn't get a job for 10 years. He even tried to get back in the army because he couldn't do anything else.
This is it. They they focus on someone that's come forward, an honest person that's done nothing, and they turn, it's absolutely disgraceful. They know why they're treating human beings that are soul brothers and sisters, people of our own species, against each other, and doing that when there's other invading species coming to this world. We should be protecting each other, not fighting each other and tearing each other down. And we should be protecting each other. Okay, guys, so it's about 12. I didn't realise it's 10 to. It's about that time. So each week, here we go. Jokingly, Tommy was right. Tommy's right 95% of the time. I was right 5%, but Tommy's always on the button. Now, I'm still having medical issues, and Tommy said, Tina, get a Geiger counter. I didn't even enter my head, to be honest with you. It didn't enter my head. I thought, shall I? So I took his advice. That's what I bought. It was on Amazon. It cost about £18 at the time, probably about $18, $20 now. And it's called Electrical Magnetic Radiation Tester. And you push the button there, the red button. And at the top there, you have volts per meter and micro Teslas. Now, I have a smart screen TV, so I don't know why this is going off. Mine never normally goes off. Did you see it went to 7 then?
Oh, yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, sorry. So, and normally it does not go up. It normally goes off closer to me.
But your bottom's going off now. The radiation's going off.
So when it says, look, it says harmful. The reading I'm
it
getting
goes,
at the moment
Tina,
is actually harmful.
It goes to a real high number when it gets close to you, and it goes lower number when you get to the screen, obviously. So, people, she's radioactive. Do you understand that? The only thing different that makes it weird is radiation doesn't go up and down. What's happening to her is not normal. All right. I tried 3 scientists. None of them will get back to me because radiation is not like a wave. It's a steady wave, and it takes 100 years for it to go away. So what's going on with Tina goes up and down. I tell her over and over, the aliens are doing something to her.
Oh, I'm going to move closer to it.
No, move closer to you.
No, I'm moving away. Every time I move closer to it, beeps.
It's still touching you. Turn it around and look at it right now. Look at the screen. It changes when you turn it around because the detector's facing a direction, just so you know. All right, but she's radioactive, people, and she is right now. One time,
I'm going to turn it off. So
1 out of 3, maybe 1 out of 4 or 5 times, she's not radioactive. It's not possible, people.
Well, volts per meter was 17 then, 15, 17. It's 14. Normally, I don't ever give up volts per meter. It's 50. It's it. Volts per meter. Normally, my top one is 0.
This to you, Jen. I hate to ask you a question. What do you think is going to happen with Trump? I mean, we're headed for a disaster, and I don't know which way it's going to go. And I'm sure it's not going to go
for the better. I think surprised me. It wouldn't surprise me to see Donald Trump re-elected.
No, he's really close to being re-elected. Look at the people. They're willing to take out people to get him in. They're serious people.
I think he will win the election. I also think that the Russian plan at Zabenitska will go up.
My viewpoint, all these kids and men going around shooting kids in school, in church, and everywhere else. Take out the president. You get famous. I mean, you're going to get the same results, killing somebody, but take out somebody that's the most dangerous person on the planet right now. Some people think he's the savior.
I never understand that people want to blow people up and kill people for causes and that. Why aren't they targeting politicians? Like today in the UK, sadly, somebody up not the north, up in Nottingham, got in a van, drove around and killed people 5 o'clock this morning. Drove on the pavement, killed people, left dead bodies everywhere, and the police later arrested him. If you've got issues, they should take it out with the government, not the innocent people that can't change a thing. We can't change the thing as a people. It's so that really, ridiculous.
The same with war, Tina. Why not take out the person that's in charge of the war instead of all the little people that have to fight for the war? Take the 2 presidents and stick them in a room. Let them beat each other up.
They should fight each other and get on with it. Yep, I don't think they should involve the rest of the country.
they sent kids 16 years old, over 16, into the Vietnam battlefield. Vietnam sent children 14 years old out into the battlefield. An ex-girlfriend I had was a nurse on the front line there for 2 years. All she did was wash children's bodies to send them back home. And so she broke down, and they let her out the
Any
third
loss
year.
of life, any loss of life is
But there was
not
no
in this day
reason
and
for
age. It's
Vietnam War.
absolutely.
I mean, all the things we do when it comes to money and power, it's about what. See, Tibet was destroyed by China.
So
They begged for our help.
I don't understand, Tommy. Even these spiritual people, the number one message all the time is the true value of being human is the value of human life. Where is that value in these wars? There isn't any. Same as abductees.
People say the Ten Commandments are useless. They were built for that time frame. Thou shalt not kill is built for the future, the past, and the present. I mean, we should live by that. Nobody has the right to kill somebody else.
Right, Tommy, we're down to about 4 minutes left now. I'm just going to say quick goodbyes to everyone, but first I'm going to say, guys,
well,
look out this week. So I will be on the Spirit channel. Guys, I'm starting my YouTube channel, so please go over to Encounters, Tina Bird or TA Bird Encounters. If you look in the chat room, you'll see me on there. Click on there. Please like, subscribe, and share, and watch it. I know it's about an hour long. Turn off, but it goes into a lot more questioning and things that people need to know. So if you're really into abduction, you want to know things. Sorry?
What day? What day is it?
Oh, I'm on TV in America on the 22nd of June, this Thursday. So it's 6 p.m. American time, 6 o'clock at night, and 12 o'clock UK time on the Spirit Channel. I think it's called Strange Reality, I think.
Tina,
guys, please
talk about your
check
books.
me out on YouTube, like, share, and I'll see you guys next week. Stay safe.
No, Tina,
stay
talk
healthy.
about your books real fast. Tell everybody about your books first.
So I've got The Guardians of Light in the Brotherhood of the Night. I've done that one. So please, guys, I'm going to go online. It's a lovely read. It's a story I made up when I was having my hysterectomy. It's a real good book. Please get it, read it. Fascinating read. I also have another one that's a bit on the raunchy side. It's called The Checkpoint. There's the cover. The Checkpoint, a short story. That was there. So please get it. Launching Bird Books hopefully soon. So that is I'm just going to put that back on my wall so it doesn't fall down. And there's my poster for Bird Books. So please keep an eye out for that. There you go. And then I also got from Amazon Top Picks. My book was Top Picks of Prince Harry's Spare. Number one spot went to me, Tina Bird, Guardians of the Light, over Prince Harry's Spare. So thank you very much for that. So guys, please go into Amazon, get one of the books. I'll send you a signature if you need me to. If you bought a book, please go on there. And again, go to YouTube, like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next week. Nice one, guys. See you next week, Tommy. Thank you for having me on. It's goodbye from Tina Bird here in the UK.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Always a pleasure.
And you. Bye.
All right, people. Tina Bird, great person. I've been with her over 2 years now. I'm glad she's still alive. She's going through so much. The first year, she was going through every symptom of radiation poisoning. Losing her hair, losing her teeth, losing her nails, passing out. And when she passed out, she woke up with half of her body black and blue and things like that. It's crazy. But the radiation thing, which I made her do, because I said, that's radiation poisoning. So now that she realizes she's radiation, she's dealing with hospitals. She's got a problem with her heart, her blood, and everything else. I don't want to get into all her things, but she's not healthy. And it's not because of known things. Nobody's telling her anything. That whole story about them cutting this giant object out of her stomach and saying it was a defense for getting pregnant? Really? The stories they give and feed, and they gave documents on that. A document on taking an implant of a object out, which was called a birth protection device. When it happened, when she was talking about it the first time, when she was trying to go to court to get the video, because they film operations in England, and she wanted it, and she went to court, and they said it was too controversial to release. They cut something out of her stomach, and it was too controversial to release. What could that possibly be? A birth control device? Really? The ignorance of people to believe it even. I say people in the UFO world, if they really cared, all these top people in the conferences and stuff, why don't they stick together and try to get the truth out? John Ford is in the nut house on Long Island. He's been in there. It's controversial. Of course it is. But bring the truth out. I'm sick and tired of people believing the lies. Nobody wants to hear the truth. Even on the spiritual side, they don't want the truth. They just want lies that make them feel happy. What, for 6 years now? People, this is going to change gradually over the next 7 years until the half of the population is destroyed. And I'm saying that for a fact. I'm not making it up. I'm not just wishing it's going to happen. But it will happen. And AI will be the controlling factor. There'll be one person in charge of it all. We don't know who that's going to be. Even in the alien interrogation, they tried to make this alien confess who it's going to be, because he said the world's going to be destroyed by one person. But realize, alien technology controls the way they think, and their thinking's not right on compared to ours. And then again, it's like we have beliefs. We put in what we want in a story. So if an alien programs somebody, they're programming them with what they want them to believe. Now, Corey Good, all right, he worked with these aliens. They showed him videos of the past, present, and future. He said the world would be destroyed in 2 years. Not happening. All right, then we had another person, Cavalacius. He's out of Australia. He said he was working with aliens. I agree with him for the first year that I heard him. Then he went out to the James Gillen's ranch. I warned him. I said, be careful if you go out there. The energy is corrupted. And suddenly he changed into this whole different person. And basically he said the world would be destroyed in 2 years as well. All these people that prophesize things, great prophets, and I'm just using, do you follow any of these people? What they say and what's going to happen, they have no clue. And if you don't think the government has the ability to change time, which we do, and it's not going to be anything beneficial. When it happened after the Philadelphia experiment, one person I was friends with was the person that went back in time. About 22 years ago, when I was with them, they killed him not too much after. I don't want to get into the whole story, but when he said to me, they offered him $4 million to go back in time to take somebody else out because the history was screwed up because somebody was killed when they went back the first time. All the people that were on the ship with him disappeared, welded in the walls, all kinds of weird stuff. But it became a story. Nobody wanted the truth about that. But it was Nikola Tesla's invention, all right, which was what allowed them to go back in time. Now, changing time is the worst toy, tool, weapon that we can have. An alien race gave it to Tesla. I can go into those details. But it's not going to help because people don't believe it, don't want to hear it. But Tesla didn't come out of high school, go to college, and come up with 200 inventions that change everything known to man. Really? That's cool. Everybody should go to it. But no, that's not how it happened. He was working with a race. I saw it in his personal notes. Einstein worked with a race, but they gave Einstein false information, people. Some of the stuff that Einstein came out with are complete lies, not even close to the truth. I don't want to get into that. People, I want to get into what's happening right now. Steven Greer is getting money, building this big center to program people to talk to aliens. Why? Now, it's probably people think, wow, we could talk to aliens and get on a ship. And he wants to teach people how to get on a ship. What do you think they're going to do with you? What do they think they need you for, people? Wake up. Does the president need you even in our own country? What do they need you for? Paying taxes? I mean, really, what do you think aliens need humans for? And the word is food, people. We breed all kinds of animals here. You don't think aliens do the same thing with humans? Whether you want to know that or not? Read Phil Snyder's story. What they found in the alien base underground. 144 skeletons of humans. All right. People, we thought he was the gray that the Evie that the government was working with was a good alien. No such thing, people. And watch the movie V, the original movie. And it shows you these aliens come down, help us build and this and that. While she was cloning her army, alien army. It's not a good thing. They're not here to help us. We don't seem. They don't use the word spiritual because they don't know nothing about a real God. So powerful. They have to realize they came out of somewhere. All right. Well, where were they hatched? Where were they? Whatever. But mankind doesn't even know and still want to believe some things, like we came from a monkey. Really? You remember when they had the story of the missing link? What did it mean, people? They couldn't connect humans to a monkey. Really? All right. I'm going beyond controversial. They could take me off. They gave me a hack, and I was on black web and everything. But I'm not. I don't want to live forever, and I don't like it here. Oh, I love it here. It's beautiful. Yeah, what's beautiful? The air, everything you see is contaminated, destroyed. They're destroying the whales and the dolphins greatly. If they're gone, promise you, the world won't survive. Realize a dolphin's brain is exactly like ours, a quarter-inch smaller than ours, but they use different parts of it. They got sonar, radar built into their brain. All right, and they can communicate with humans. So they're not as dumb as people think. I mean, the problem is they do like sex with humans, or try to. I mean, again, really. But people, the world's changing, and it's not going to change to this beautiful, love and light place. And I hate to warn you, anybody that's preaching love, like conversation with God, are pulling your leg. He's a multi-millionaire now because people bought his book because he said, oh, love is the answer. God told him blah, blah, blah. God doesn't talk to people here. What do you think God would say to anybody on this planet? Get your ass off of it. Why are you staying in hell? And that's what it would really say, people. We are in hell. We're trying to get out, not trying not to go back into it. When you die, you probably will come back here because you're attached to this place, people, and things. And if you knew anything about past life experiences, you would understand that you had multiple families. Why would you decide to stay with this family over all the other families? The whole concept of what happens when you go to heaven is delusional, created by certain people. Do you want to know the truth? I mean, this is one of the few places I put it out there. I mean, the government could take me off tomorrow. I don't know who I was actually hacked by or whatever. Could be the government, because I had Sean David Morton on my show last week, and they screwed up my voice the whole show. But then I got hacked a few days after that. Realized Sean David Morton discovered Area 51. He brought people there to watch the mothership come in there. That was over 22 years ago. All right? They were harassing him always, but they never did anything serious until they arrested him with 150 false charges. They had to let him go because he's dying. So I had him on my show. I mean, I was friends with him. I was with him when he was in New York, New Jersey, and all those times. I was always with him. I was his bodyguard half of the time. But people, he's alive. He's not doing very good, but he's not in jail. So they arrested him and his wife. Conspiracy to stealing millions of dollars. He was never a millionaire. Never. People, you want to believe the government, you want to believe press, you want to believe all the stories coming out, go right ahead. You got bit by a dolphin? You must have bad energy. Sorry to tell you that. Robert Williams was doing a special on dolphins, and he was in the water, and a dolphin plowed into him and knocked him over. I thought it was hilarious. They sense vibration much better than humans do. Dolphins save humans greatly most of the time. But my dog, all right, for instance, is a little Japanese chin. 99% of the people, he'll bark and I'll go over to him. I was in the car lot, and this lady looked like a witch, seriously. So I walked into the car, and he was jumping, screaming, barking, jumping, pouring the window. Energy is real, people. Everybody radiates it. If you can't tune into that, you're in trouble. Now, and I also call it reading an aura. Everybody has an aura. If you can see it, you can know where that person's coming from. Good, bad, or indifferent. Most people's auras are anything but blue or white, sorry. I don't talk about this stuff because Tina doesn't want to hear it or talk about it. I don't blame her. Government never helped her. God never helped her. Angels never helped her. In her mind, she never got anything. So, and she lost her children, and they're on a ship. So, where does that leave her? Who's helping her? Did she have faith? Why should she? Who's helping her? Who's going to help her? So, I can't talk about spiritual things, but like she's going to be on a spiritual show in a week. So, again, I hope they don't start asking her about religion, which I'm sure they might. But again, people, getting back to these people in Congress, UFO conferences, what are they telling you? Everything is an attack on the government. Okay, they did things, created all these different projects and things like that, programs and all that, but it's for a reason, to protect the rich people. All right. Now, that being said, will they protect them in a major attack? Of course they will. That's what the underground cities are for, people. And people don't even talk about that. Why? And they talk about us not having money. Well, they spend up to $720 billion a year on the space and Army and Navy weapons. Air Force too, all right? $720 billion. And they talk about our budget and everything else, and we have no money. Everything's a lie, people. You're controlled by a lie. The Constitution of the United States is a lie. Half of it was taken from the native people. The symbols of the eagle holding in its talons the arrows and all that. The native people created all that because they said the 5 nations we can stand strong, meaning all the tribes that were here at that time. I mean, now there's like 600 tribes, but they're all small and it's so different. But when they were allowed to kill people, meaning native people, everybody was allowed to have a gun. And then if they shot somebody, a native person, child, lady, or man, they scalped them. The white man scalped them because they got paid like for money for now, $80 for a man's scalp, $50 for a woman's scalp, and like $40 for a child's scalp. So did they outlaw that? No. That's why they made sure everybody had a gun. So now, what is the reason why we carry a gun? Who are we supposed to kill? The bad guy? Like in the boxing ring. Who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? They're both getting paid to beat each other up. All right? If you did that on the street, you couldn't do it. But if somebody paid you to do it, it'd be right. People, our morals are gone. All right? You were kicking your feet too hard. We're dealing with a lot of things right now. And sure, paying your rent, buying your food. Hawaii has escalated from $4 to $8. Some things that were like $12 to $18. The prices are growing so fast on a monthly basis. Plus, things are disappearing. I mean, when you go to Walmart here, the animal food section, there's one food there. You can't even buy pads for the dog to poop on. It's crazy. I mean, they have one bag there, and things are disappearing. I notice in the food shelves, a lot of things are missing. It's getting ready for what's going to happen, people, whether you realize that or not. Hawaii, we're separated. If they did anything to boats and stuff like that, we'd be in serious trouble. We get everything from outside of the Hawaii. Sure, we have coconuts and papaya and things like that. I don't like either. Sorry. But imagine if we got cut off from the mainland. Our supplies would deteriorate. Manufacturing clothes, shoes, and all those things. We would lose out. People would be going around in togas and stuff because they have no money and can't buy it. Anything important. Can't have it shipped here. People, you got to be aware of what and how it can go down and how it is going to go down. It is going to go down. Directly how and why and all those things. It's all written out. Why the underground cities and all, why we are involved with time travel and things like that. Realize they don't like one result. They go back, change it, and then we come back with another result. All right, that happened 1947, people. The technology for time travel devices have shrunk because that was a big device. They put one on a ship, and they put animals, and the animals were gone in the cage and the walls as well. And they made the device bigger and put it on a ship, and that's when it went back in time. But then now, and that was how many? 1947, 2023. The box is really small, and what they do, I wouldn't even go into because I don't know, but I know people that do. All right. I was dealing with the person that was the first person to go back in time. And somebody was killed accidentally. But no matter what, you kill one person, it changes the whole planet. All the families that could have came from that, he could have been the child of that, could have been the next president. He could have been anything. But you kill a whole family, it's a whole chain of reactions that counteract. And basically, it changes history. And I worked with Sergeant 18 for 6 years. He had an out-of-place artifact, meaning something that can't be in the present time frame. And he was trying to sell it. I think he still has it and trying to sell it, but we ended our communications together. I think he sold out to the government, got lots of money and all kinds of things. But, all right, they could put something back from the past in the present, or hit something from the present and put it back in the past, which they're doing. And it's the aliens that have been doing it, and now the government can do it too. He had a rock with a knife in it. The knife was made in 1897 or something like that. The stone was 5,000 years old. Impossible. So that's what an out-of-place artifact is, meaning something that can't exist in the time frame where it was supposed to be. So it's called, like I said, you take something from the present, bring it back in the past, something from the past, bring it into the future. All right. Now they're finding giants everywhere. Well, giants did live here. The book of Enoch was taken out of the Bible for a reason. The facts are there, but where's my guy? Hold on. My little guy wants to come in. Come in, Squiggle. Sorry about that. My little guy always likes to be here. People, it's the real time frame of what's changing. And this isn't a comedy show, people. You know, I've been here for almost 20 years now. And I came here just to swim with dolphins. And what do I find out? The second year that I'm here, they call it the nude beach because it's where they all go swimming nude and everything. And it's one of the few places here where they do it. It's not legal. Realize it's not legal anywhere, really. But basically, the Army was going through some stuff. The Navy came in as well. And they dropped these boxes all along this big swimming area. They were sound boxes. And the dolphins couldn't go past them. So they didn't want people communicating with dolphins. Then on top of that, I had a friend, I brought him on my show years ago, who does the swimming and birthing with dolphins. They outlawed that in Hawaii. Why? Who are they hurting? It's now you can't go near a dolphin. It's illegal. Joan Ocean, who did a UFO conference and things like that, really big name, charges a lot of money to go on these weekend trips with dolphins and stuff. But it's against the law, and I don't know how she's getting around it, but you can't swim with dolphins. Can't go near them. It's a fine. You can't bring your boat near them. And if they come near you, you're supposed to move away slowly and all kinds of things. On top of that, the government was killing dolphins for 10 years straight. They killed 10,000 a year trying to torture them to attack humans. Does that sound like a human thing? But again, dolphins have a brain like we do. And they're intelligent. They could never force a dolphin to kill somebody. Why isn't it the same with humans? All right. I can go into that whole detail because they actually got the trainer a flipper to try to work with them. He's spending the rest of his life trying to protect dolphins, trying to stop dolphin shows and all the other things that are bad for them. Watch the Cove. All right. And he did this thing about the Philippines and how they slaughtered 10,000 dolphins in 2 days and things like that. But these creatures came from somewhere. Does anybody want to realize where dolphins came from? They're not vicious, people. I went diving with them. I came to Hawaii. I went to a couple islands and dived with dolphins and stuff. Don't attack a dolphin. They're smarter than most people are. All right. Again, humans are pretty bad. The average person has a fight with somebody and beat somebody up and kill somebody and all that. So are humans normal, good people? No. We can't get along with other countries. Does that mean we're good? No. People can't get along with each other. That's pretty sad. Go out there and say you love Trump to somebody that hates him. Say that, or the opposite. Put something on your car. I'm afraid to put stickers on my car because somebody sees the car and smash it because they don't like the sign. People, this is the real world, but it's being controlled. And alien abductees, not like Tina, which become experiences, turn the experience and make it sound good. So you got people like Steven Greer out there, mainstream, promoting lies. He came out and said the government offered him $4 billion to walk away from the UFO world. Really? He really thinks he's worth $4 billion. I had one person, I did a show with TJ. Her husband worked for the government. He admitted he killed 139 people for the government. Now, I'm going to say his name. No, I shouldn't. He's still alive. This other person's dead. Famous writer, has the most famous book for 2-3 years. Killed 49 people for the government. You think they paid them billions of dollars to kill these people? They were paid because it was their job to do it, period. And you don't think they could take Steven Greer out within a split second? He doesn't walk around with 10 bodyguards, steel-plated car, any of those things. Same as Billy Myers. He said he was attacked 20 times. Protected, he had a steel thing in his pocket, the bullet hit there, and all these other times. I don't know. Half of his story is true and half of his story is lies. Lies do not fit in with the truth. If you're putting lies in your truth, it's no longer the truth, is it? Partially true? No, it's a lie then. Truth is truth. You can't change it, can't rearrange it, can't make it fit your desire. Yeah, let's not talk about dolphins. Yes, they use them. They put bombs on them and send them to ships to blow them up. That's what they train dolphins to do. That's not called spying. It's called destruction. But people, I mean, if the dolphin knew they were going to blow up the ship, they wouldn't hit it. But they're trained and in tanks and everything else, and they don't know what the effects are going to happen to people. Dolphins aren't super psychics. I'm not saying that, but they are intelligent. They could speak 150 words, just so you know. But again, I can't say his name, but if you pull up the code, that's the person that's working the rest of his life trying to protect dolphins. But they still serve dolphins in Japan schools to the children. Not the dolphin fish, because that's incredibly valuable. Dolphins, the same as they still serve whales in Japan as whale restaurants, believe it or not. And they kill whales on our land and our oceans, and the government protects them. They're so afraid dolphins can help us grow, which they can, if we ever work to get together to get to a connection that way. The government doesn't want to be friends with dolphins. They just want to train them to be killers. People, so who's controlling our government? Who's controlling these people? Money? Who controls the money? All right, I don't want to go into all that. It has nothing to do with aliens, but even though aliens are in the back of everything, they reprogrammed the human race when Atlantis was destroyed, people. Whether you want to believe that or not, it's your choice. We weren't killers. We didn't eat animals. All right? But now we're coming to a place where everything goes, everything's okay. We eat every creature that moves on this planet, somewhere on this planet. Ants, rats, you name it. We eat everything. So what do you think an alien race eats? Different colored humans? People, I was going to get into a lot more stuff, but I don't like to bore people too long, because I know the human attention can't stay around too long either. All right. I've been around with this trainer of Flipper. I actually met Flipper. And when he goes to a country, they're all warned that he's coming, because they make their money off of killing dolphins. It's a sad world, people. And if aliens were good at any level, they would help us. And they don't. All right, like I said, there's an alien base next to every army base on this planet, basically. Picatinny Arsenal in New Jersey. The first army base in the United States. Made, tell you anyway, super soldiers there. They made 6. They were all about 8 feet tall. The most incredible lab. I mean, my friend worked in there and stuff, but what did they do with these guys? I have no clue. But what I was going to tell people, there's a radiation badge you can buy online even and wear it. And if it comes in contact with radiation, it starts beeping. Tina couldn't wear it. It'd be going off all the time. But the truth is, and this is something that nobody else talks about either. Good for you. I wouldn't eat something that's human. All right. I don't eat pigs because they're pretty much human as well. Their DNA is very much like ours. People, we have to realize what's going on. And if you're not ready to look at the truth, don't watch my show. Don't listen to Tina or me. Listen to these other idiots out there, fools, crazy, sick people telling you lies about good aliens helping them and doing this and that. I did a conference right in there near Area 51. The one guy that was the speaker, I'm not going to say his name. He was on a TV show, Alien Chasers or something, whatever. But he said he worked with the Nordics. The Nordics aren't spiritual beings. They aren't good aliens either, people. The Mantis, somebody said they work with Mantis. They're not good in any way. The Greys, the native people believe they work with the Greys. They call them the star beings. They're not beneficial to the human race either. Realize if they were working with the Greys and they were getting help from the Greys, you think 50 million native people would have been killed? Really? You don't think they would have helped them if they wanted to help them? You expect help. Why? For what? To do what? What could they tell you that would be important to you right now? You got a sick government? You going to do anything about it? No. The world's contaminated. You going to do anything about it? No. And all you hear is global warming. Let's change it. Let's stop it. Not one person in that real world talks about the real problems. All right. I don't want to get into food. That's ridiculous. But people, tune in. Send this link to everybody you know. I challenged Steven Greer. I wrote him a super long letter last night. Told him if he ever grows a pair of balls, I'll debate him anywhere, anytime, live or not. I don't eat bacon. Never did. Ever. Man, what are we talking about food for? Are you listening to the show we're doing? People, my address is there, hawksblood1aol.com. Email me with questions. Got any evidence, proof of anything? Tell me. Look, I don't get promoted a lot because people hate me. The UFO world people hate me. They're afraid of me. I was 16 and I was a high priest. And I was going against the head of the mob's psychic high priest as well. I'm not afraid of those kind of people. I mean, I'm not afraid of the government because I know they can take me out any second they want. And that's a fact. And they don't have to play games, and they wouldn't offer me $10 million or $100 million to walk, $1 billion to walk away. If they offered me $100,000, I'd walk away because my partner's sick and I would just spend it to help her every which way I could. But again, I'm only putting the truth out the best I can, what I know as fact. I was next to an alien. I was next to a Bigfoot. I was next to a ship. They're all real. So when people say, well, it could be, and I just say, man, you don't want the truth. I'm talking from exact real experience. I wasn't on drugs. I wasn't high. I had a friend with me when an alien came in my house, and we chased it with baseball bats. People, you can say that people are crazy and believe it and whatever. People that get abducted, and I was just saying this to my partner, if you get abducted, you will never be the same. All right? I could say my brother was just about abducted, and I stopped it when I was young. I'm going to block you in 1 second. One more word about that. People, we're dealing with the most hardcore time in the history of the human planet. This live entity that's called Earth. All right. And the goddess isn't helping mankind. and you can't pray to a goddess to heal the planet. As we destroy it, we're going to beg for healing it? Really? I can go into the reasons why nobody talks about the main problems. There's 5 main things destroying the ozone, the sky, the weather, the planet's movement. But you don't want to hear it. But till next time, Tommy Hawksblood here. Truth only is my motto. I live and die by the truth. God is real. God is the only thing really important. You can believe whatever you want. You can believe in the mind power, superpowers, and the secret, but there's no secret because it's a lie. All right. Till next time, you heard it here. All right. Look for the truth. But don't stop looking. Don't stop until you find what you really are looking for. And I hope it's the truth, no matter what field it's in. Religion, food, life, whatever. Why are you here? Why do you think you have to die? And why would you want to live to 150? All those questions. Ask yourself why. Is it going to get better 100 years from now? No, it's not. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. You heard that phrase 1,000 times. If you think you're in the bottom of the barrel, there's always further to go. There's never a bottom. Now, like he was talking about drilling into the center of the core of the earth. They don't know what they're doing. China has no respect for anything, including its own people. Think about that and email me with anything important, questions or not. Till next time, enjoy your day.